Hi, this is Enis from Never Stop Trucking and Usora Express. If you're an owner operator and you're looking for a good established company to lease on, check out the description of this video or go to usoraexpress.com. In this video, I will be talking about 2025 and what we can expect as trucking owners or drivers in this new year. Everyone was waiting to see what's going to happen with the elections, and the elections turned out to be a win for business-oriented people. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. The only thing that's good for trucking is the fact that for the next 4 years, Trump is going to be the president of United States, and everyone sees him as business-oriented, and he wants to cut down on bureaucracy, on government restrictions, stuff like that. And investors love him. So that's why we all felt good when he won as far as the trucking industry goes. Now, that's what's most concerning to us as business owners or drivers. Now, it's not clear how his tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico will affect the trucking industry or the economy as a whole. So we will have to see what steps he is going to take as far as that goes, and it will take a while for any results to be seen, but I don't think it's going to happen quick. So as we have known for the last almost 3 years now, the trucking industry has been struggling, and I think in next year it's probably going to be very similar. I really don't see how all these trucks that are on the road and that are creating a problem, because why is anyone going to pay someone good money to transport a load if they have 10 trucks available for one load, right, or more? So they're just gonna pay as little as they can and just wait whoever bites into that hook. Now, next thing I wanted to tell you is that, in my opinion, until we see better truck-to-load ratios and shippers are forced to pay us more, we won't be getting better rates. And then even if this happens, it will take months, right? So it's not going to happen overnight if it ever becomes better. What I'm afraid of is that this is going to be the new standard. Everyone has adjusted to it. Monopolies are being created by mega carriers, and the FMCSA and the government is not helping much with that either. In my honest opinion, they probably have a lot of people lobbying for this, and this is what they want, right? The big companies, they just want more shares in the industry. They want to growing. They buy each other out, and they can survive on these cheaper rates. And even if they have contracts, the contracts tend to be usually pay a little bit more than spot rates. So for them, that's good. What else is going to happen in 2025? Well, the brokers are not getting any better. They're getting actually worse with their restrictions and being more arrogant, right? Brokers right now are people who really don't want to help you, unfortunately, right? It's their load. They're trying to cover the load with their shipper. But, you know, to them, the shipper is the king, not the truck driver or the trucking company. Like that's their customer, and the customer is always right. And they used to pay the attention out of their own pocket, or truck order not used, or admit their mistake. But now they just don't want to anger that shipper. They don't want to ask them for money. For example, if your truck stay there for 6 hours, they just don't want to pay you out of their own pocket because they cannot afford it, and they don't want to ask the shipper for it because they don't want to ruin their relationship, to put it there mildly. I mean, I could use some harsher words, but I'm not. I'll try not to, but that's what it is. So 2025, it's going to be only worse for smaller companies. If you're trying to start your own company, with your own trucks. I don't know if you should do that. If you have a really good plan, if you have some kind of loads that you can count on, then sure. But if you're an owner operator, you have your own truck, and you want to start your own authority and dispatch yourself, just don't do it. What's next? Shippers are squeezing every cent they can, and they're becoming untouchable. We always complain about brokers. Brokers are just the middleman. They're trying to please not everyone. They're trying to please their customers, and they're trying to deal with us in the best way they can, because they know that they need us. They need trucking companies. They need truck drivers. So to them, we are the necessary evil. That's how they see us, but it should be the opposite, right? Because they wouldn't be able to work with us. They wouldn't be able to get these loads covered if they didn't have the trucks who are going to transport. Then they would have to form their own trucking companies, right? So ultimately, the shippers are they're the kings right now. They can do whatever they want. They can change rules. They cannot use certain brokers if they don't want to. They don't want to use a trucking company that hasn't done 10 loads with them or doesn't have company-owned trucks, stuff like that. They can literally come up with any new rule that they want to, and they will be able to do so, because right now they are the ones who are watching the spot market rates, the contract market rates, and they're just squeezing not every dollar, they're squeezing every cent that they can, and to them it adds up, because they have bigger shippers. They have thousands of shipments, and to them it adds up, right? So right now they are in this position, and in my opinion, it's gonna stay like that, because the problem with this crisis that we have right now is not like it used to be. Every time we have, I went to maybe 4, 5, 6 of these trucking. What should we call them? I don't even know. It's a depression. I went through 5 or 6 of them. And every time, if there are bad markets, bad rates, most of the times is that the whole economy is suffering, right? The unemployment is high, the inflation is high, everyone is laying off people, there is no work, there are no loads, and people are going bankrupt. The debt, the personal and company debt is becoming higher because people cannot afford to buy things, so they borrow money. And every time everyone, you go out and then you see everyone is the same boat, and you kind of feel better, and you kind of understand, hey, if this company is not producing their stuff, if they're not hiring more people, if the investors are not investing money, if they don't have anyone to sell to, then we can't move loads either. We can't be busy. We can't be paid either. But now, the unemployment is low. Everyone is working overtime. The homes are being built left and right. The home prices are becoming higher. I know people here in town, they say, hey, we have mandatory overtime. We have to work on a weekend. It's crazy. But trucking industry is when you tell them that, and they say hey, well, we had these trucks come in all night long and they're waiting in the line and we can't unload them. And then you tell them, well, we're really suffering. And they look at you what do you mean? Well, there is no work. There is no money. No one is paying you. Well, how come we are so busy? I don't know either. You tell me. Food industry, Aldi. Try going to Aldi right now, to Aldi DCs. We have these few DCs that we deliver to in Weberville, Michigan, Hinckley, Ohio, Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, Tallinn, New York. people wait on the exit ramp. The truck drivers here in Waverly, Michigan, they wait on the exit ramp because they cannot go into the DC because there are so many trucks in the line, and they're just like, whenever you're unloaded, they just, tell them, hey, just go away. You can't stay here. Go away. There are so many trucks coming in, and they're paying us less money. So that's the problem with this industry, and that's why we can't predict when it's going to be better. Because everyone is busy, the economy is, I guess, doing okay. The inflation is high. Okay, I understand. But everyone is doing theirs, so construction is booming. So it's not something really big has to happen in as far as trucking goes in order for these prices to improve. Another problem that we have here is that trucking is not an industry of honor and handshake anymore. It used to be that, these people who have done it in the old school way, they say, okay, this is what I do, and I do it, right? And then I respect you, you respect me. It's not like that anymore. And 2025, it's going to reflect for the future, for the years to come, not just 2025. So what I advise everyone is, if you're a company driver, find a good and stable company to work for and stay there, right? If you're an owner operator, you need to have a cheaper truck or no payments. That's the only way you're gonna have you're gonna be able to survive. Owner operators who don't have their own authority, they need to lease onto an established company, someone with good reviews, with good scores, and then they should be okay to survive. Owner operators who want to have their own authority and they started right now, they will fail. I kept saying this I spoke to maybe over 10 people that wanted to do that, and I told them, you're not going to be able, it's not going to work for you. You're going to be able to work with 2 brokers, and you're just going to do loads that they give you for cheap, and that's it. You're not going to, we work with hundreds of brokers, right, every day. And we're still struggling to find a good paying load. Imagine working with 2 brokers only, with C.H. Robinson and TKL. I don't know how they can do it. Another thing that's becoming worse for us is we have new generations in the industry. The new generations are there to stay, of course. They're replacing the older ones, and they don't have the same mindset. They don't have the same work ethics, and they don't see the world in the same way that people who have been in this for a long time see. With technology, with internet, with social networks, they think different, and they want to communicate different, right? These people, because of that, they lack empathy, right? If you talk to a broker that doesn't feel you, they're not gonna want to help you, and that's what we see in these new guys at big brokerages like Coyote, C.H. Robinson, Echo, all of these other big brokerages. These are the younger people just out of school, and they train them to be that way, right? That's how they train them. They get the fresh young meat, and they impose this mindset into them where it's all about money, right? They don't feel you. If you're a truck driver and you're out there on the road, always risking your life and other people's lives, you're away from the family, you live this different life that they couldn't imagine, right? These people, these younger people. And you don't treat them with respect, these truck drivers. You don't, if they have to stay someplace longer than they're supposed to, if they deserve truck order not used or detention or something like that, or even help them when they are stuck somewhere, just help them to go out. A lot of these new brokers, they lack this empathy. They don't feel them, and they just don't want to help. They're like robots. And I see it, like all these younger people and the kids right now, when you look at them, they don't care about these old-fashioned things. Like for them, that happened a long time ago. It doesn't matter. Like there is no honor, there is no handshake, there is no empathy in them. It's just crazy. And these younger people, these younger brokers, you feel it. Like you when you talk to them, because right now you can't even talk to them. Like I want to call them and tell them, hey, let's work this out. No, they just want you to email them or message them, and they say it's what it is. Like it's what it is. Nothing is gonna happen. Take it or leave it. More of these brokers are putting restrictions on trucking companies, and then for one little thing, like we changed the address recently. You change the address, and they're like, hey, I can't give you a load. You change the address. So what? Now, if I want to change, God forbid I change the phone number for the trucking company. Like, hey, this is a big red flag. We can't give you a load because you changed your phone number. Like, what does that have to do with anything? But no, they can. And like, it's the new normal right now. And you have to adjust for it if you want to survive. Now, if you're a driver, you have to be able to accept the fact that you're going to be tracked, watched, and micromanaged by dispatchers and brokers and DOT. Shippers will treat you like garbage. Car drivers around you are always in the rush, and they're always on their phones, so they don't even see you. You have to watch for them. And other truck drivers are becoming like that as well. And they're becoming younger, so it's what it is. So if you want to be a truck driver, then think about it. Right now, most drivers are the old school drivers, maybe younger people who are curious about trucking industry, and immigrants, like a lot of immigrants in trucking. And there is the language barrier, there is a mentality difference, right? And it's what it is. So 2025, in my opinion, is not going to be much different than 2024. Okay, so if you want to survive, you just have to adjust. You have to look at all of your expenses and take a good look at your profits and the lanes you're doing, and you have to have a plan and stick to it, right? For example, Amro and I, we are dispatching trucks, and Chris as well, and like I'm doing a lot of other things, and Amro is dispatching much more. And then if I am not in the game for a week or so, if I am not looking for loads, things keep changing. Like it used to be that when you go to South, you were able to find good loads, especially for flatbeds. But right now, it's the opposite. Right now, only Midwest is having these rates, like these better rates. Like if you do shorter loads or if you stay in the Midwest, then you can make a little bit more money. So, I came back in to help him, and then we're looking at the load south that goes south, and he's saying, no, don't send them south. Like it's terrible there, and you're going to suffer. And we did suffer with these a few trucks that we sent south that week. So right now, we learned that, let's not send them south anymore. So you have to find a way and the lanes where to send your trucks and stick to it. And you have to stick to it. You have to be really watching where you're going to send the truck and how you're going to get the truck out of there. Don't let the good rate fool you, and then you send a truck to that area and then you can't find anything out of there. How are you going to explain to the owner-operator? Because if the owner-operator wants the average of $2 per mile, and you tell them, okay, well, I'm going to send you down there for $2.50 per mile, and then we're going to get you out of for $1.50, and then it will even out, and that will be your average. No. Most of them will not understand, and most of them are going to be like, hey, okay, I went down for a good rate, and then you offer them the $1.50 loan. They're like, no, I can't do that. That's way too low. I'm not going to make any money. But that area has only those loads, so that's the problem. So you have to adjust. Make a good plan for 2025. Of where you're going to send your trucks, how you're going to save money, not just in your company, but in your private life as well, because you can't afford those things that you were able to afford anymore. So you have to be able to cut down on costs anywhere you can, and try to plan your whole week with these trucks. That's the only thing I can tell you. Thanks for watching. This is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. Come back for more, and hopefully 2025 will be better than I predicted. I want to say I really wish that I was wrong. If you come back to me at the end of 2025 and say, hey, you were wrong, I'm not going to mind. I'm going to be glad that I was wrong. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching.